Hello dear students, welcome to the video lecture 11 of the chapter Moving Charges and Magnetism. Today we shall discuss moving coil galvanometer, conversion of a galvanometer into ammeter and also into a voltmeter. Let us proceed with moving coil galvanometer. A moving coil galvanometer is shown here. This diagram is given in the NCERT textbook. So what is a galvanometer? It is a device which is used to indicate the flow of current in an electrical circuit, and it works on the principle a current carrying coil experiences torque in the presence of uniform magnetic field. Let us try to proceed ahead and study the construction of galvanometer. A moving coil galvanometer consists of rectangular coil having n number of copper turns, and it is wounded on non-magnetic frame, as you can see here. Further, a cylindrical piece of soft iron is placed inside the coil. This soft iron intensifies the magnetic field, and this whole setup is placed between two concave magnets which produce radial magnetic field. From the north pole, magnetic field is converging to the point here. From here, it is diverging towards south. Further, the coil is connected to a fine hairspring which is further connected to a pointer, and this pointer will be moving freely on the scale. Once current flows through this coil, then it starts deflecting due to the presence of magnetic field around it. Let us try to proceed and understand the theory of it. When the current flows through the coil, it is deflected due to the magnetic field, and this deflecting torque can be written as tau d is equal to NBIA. Here this is nothing but tau is equal to mb. Instead of m, that is magnetic dipole moment, we have written NIA, which is equivalent to small m. Further, when the coil deflects, the hairspring also exerts a torque. This torque is known as restoring torque, which can be given by tau r is equal to k phi. Here k is torsional constant, that is restoring torque per unit twist, and here phi is the deflection on the scale, and its unit is division. Hence, at equilibrium, these two torques will be opposite with each other and will be trying to balance each other. When they balance, the needle will be pointing out at a value on the scale. So we can write this to be tau d is equal to tau r. Further substituting their values, we get this equation, and we shall write for deflection on the scale by the pointer. So that is phi. So we get an expression phi is equal to NAB divided by K into I. Here we see that this constant NAB divided by K is called as current sensitivity of a galvanometer. And we also observe that if this quantity is constant, then deflection in the galvanometer is directly proportional to the current flowing in the galvanometer. Yes. So let us proceed ahead and try to study current sensitivity of the galvanometer. It is defined as the deflection produced per unit current flowing through the galvanometer. Deflection per unit current means phi by I, which can be written as phi by I is equal to NAB divided by K from the previous expression, and phi by I will be known as current sensitivity, and its SI unit comes out to be division per ampere. Unit of deflection will be division and current is ampere. Now we can increase the sensitivity of the galvanometer by increasing following quantities. By seeing this expression, we can figure out what are those quantities. By increasing the number of turns, we can increase the current sensitivity. Also by increasing the area of the coil, and also increasing the magnetic field, that is uniform radial magnetic field, or by decreasing or lowering the value of torsional constant. In this way we can increase the current sensitivity of the galvanometer. Moving ahead, we can also study voltage sensitivity of a galvanometer. Voltage sensitivity is defined as the deflection produced per unit volt applied across the galvanometer. We can write this to be phi divided by V, that is deflection per unit volt. So in place of volt, we can write it this to be phi divided by I into R from Ohm's law. Here R is the resistance of the galvanometer. Proceeding further, phi by I value we already know it. Let us substitute its value and we come up with an equation of this type. So in short, this means voltage sensitivity can be written as current sensitivity divided by resistance of the galvanometer. Moving ahead, the SI unit of voltage sensitivity will be division per volt. And moving ahead, let us now study figure of merit of galvanometer. Figure of merit of galvanometer is the reciprocal of current sensitivity. It is defined as current which produces a deflection of one scale division in the galvanometer. We can write this to be K is equal to I divided by phi, and you can use this equation to get its complete expression. So the unit of figure of merit will be ampere per division. Moving ahead, let us study conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. But before that, let us try to understand what is an ammeter. Here we see an ammeter. This is a digital ammeter which has negative and positive terminal. Ammeter is a device which is used to measure electric current, and ideally it should have zero resistance, but practically this is not possible. Some amount of resistance will be there for an ammeter, and it is always connected in series with a circuit to measure the current flow in that circuit. Moving ahead, let us find out how do we convert a galvanometer into an ammeter. So galvanometers resistance will be very large when compared with an ammeter. So if the resistance of galvanometer is too high compared to an ammeter, then we can connect a small resistance in parallel with the galvanometer to reduce the resistance of the combination. So let us try to study it. A galvanometer can be converted to an ammeter by connecting a low resistance S in parallel with the galvanometer resistance, and this resistance is called as shunt resistance. Here we can see the diagram for it. A galvanometer is connected with a small resistance in parallel with it. So the voltage across the combination comes out to be V, and we are checking I to be the main current, and Ig current will be flowing through the galvanometer, and the remaining current will be I minus Ig. So here Ig will be the current that will produce full scale deflection in the galvanometer. That means it is going to deflect the galvanometer from 0 to the highest value. So we are taking I to be the maximum current that the ammeter should read, the whole combination should read. It means if I is the current that has to be read, then Ig can only support the galvanometer to give full scale deflection. And the remaining current has to flow through this shunt resistance. So to find out the value of this resistance, we shall try to understand the further concept. So here let G be the resistance of the galvanometer and S be the shunt resistance. Now since I can see these two are in parallel, we can write potential difference across both should be same. So if potential difference across S and potential difference across galvanometer is the same, then what do we get? We get an expression. So we get I minus Ig into S equals to Ig into G. What does this mean? This means we are trying to use Ohm's law to write the potential difference across S. That is current into resistance, I minus Ig into resistance. Then here current into the resistance of galvanometer, Ig into G. So further we want the value of S that can decide how much current can flow through it. So we shall try to simplify the equation and we come up with this equation. So here I will be the maximum current that we want to read it. So once we substitute in this expression, we get the value of S, and that can be utilized to convert the galvanometer to a desired range of an ammeter. Yes. Moving ahead, let us now study conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter. Before that, let us try to understand what's an voltmeter. So voltmeter is a device which is used to measure potential difference across 2 points. Ideally, a voltmeter should have infinite resistance, and practically that is not possible. So we expect it to have high resistance, and it is always connected in parallel with the circuit where we need to measure the potential difference. So to convert an galvanometer into voltmeter, we need to understand how is the behavior of galvanometer with respect to voltmeter. So this is a galvanometer. Galvanometer's resistance is very small in comparison with voltmeter, because voltmeter has high resistance. When we compare it, we get to know galvanometer has very small resistance. So in order to increase the resistance of galvanometer so that we can make it to be a voltmeter, we need to connect a resistor in series with the galvanometer to convert it to a voltmeter. So let us try to understand the theory out of it. So here, if Ig is the current for full scale deflection in the galvanometer, so if we are trying to take the circuit, in the circuit there is a resistor on which V voltage is present, and here we want our setup of galvanometer along with a resistor. So along with the resistor R here, so combination of these two together will act like a voltmeter. So the current flowing here should measure the voltage V. This V should be equivalent to the reading voltage given by the galvanometer. Now when this combination measures the potential difference to be V across this resistor, then we can write from Ohm's law, V should be equal to current which is flowing through this combination. Ig is the current that is flowing through this combination, and here we are having effective resistance of both of these. So effective resistance will be R plus G. Since both of them are in series, we get R plus G here. Writing ahead, we can try to take Rg on this side and get the expression in this manner. So we get it to be R plus G is equal to V divided by Ig. So we need the value of high resistance that has to be connected to the galvanometer. So let us try to write an expression for it, and we get it to be this one. So this is the resistance required to be connected with the galvanometer to convert it to a voltmeter. So R here is the high resistance that has to be connected with the galvanometer. Thank you students, and see you in the next video lecture.